Welcome to Mobile Home Friend YouTube channel, your go-to resource for everything manufactured housing.
Welcome to another deep dive from Mobile Home Friend. Today we are looking at the $15,000 mold trap and the 2026 prevention protocol based on our latest research at mobilehomefriend.com. You know, if you own or invest in manufactured housing, what we're covering today is absolutely critical to both your financial health and the physical, structural integrity of your property. We're going to really unpack exactly how moisture acts as this hidden enemy in these specific types of structures and, well, more importantly, how you can stop it dead in its tracks. Okay, so let's just dive right into our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at the $15,000 mold trap, why mobile homes fail, the 3 main moisture culprits, early warning signs to look out for, the 2026 prevention protocol, and finally, how you can protect your equity.
Section 1. The $15,000 mold trap. We really need to completely reframe how we think about mold. Because, look, in a standard site-built home, a little mildew in the bathroom, it probably just means you need to run the exhaust fan a bit longer, right? But in the manufactured home world, mold is fundamentally different. It's not just a weekend cleaning task. It is a massive, aggressive financial threat that literally attacks the foundational bones of your property. Just think about this number, $15,000. That's not some exaggeration just to scare you. That number represents the devastating potential cost of structural repairs, or the massive hit to resale value you might face, especially as we move closer to 2026. Lenders are becoming incredibly strict right now with FHA and VA funding. If an appraiser detects even a hint of crawl space moisture, there's no way around it. The loans simply will not fund. You're essentially trapped in that property until it's completely fixed. I mean, we've seen properties worth $60,000 sell for just $20,000, solely because of rotted floors. That is a $40,000 loss that absolutely could have been prevented.
And this brings us to a really foundational quote from real estate investor and mobile home friend owner Chuck O'Dell. He puts it like this: "Mold is not just a cosmetic issue, it is a structural predator." As we noted on the site, Chuck has flipped over 100 properties since 2003, and he's evaluated well over 2,000 of these homes, so he's seen it all. And the harsh reality here is that nothing, and I mean nothing, rots a subfloor faster than unchecked moisture trapped inside these completely unique building envelopes.
Section 2. Why mobile homes fail. So why exactly do mobile homes fail like this? To understand this sort of mechanical failure, let's compare site-built homes to mobile homes. Once you do that, the specific vulnerabilities become clear pretty quickly. You see, mobile homes are built tighter. They have thinner walls, thinner ceilings, which means there's just far less of a thermal buffer against the outside elements. And that leads directly to condensation forming right on the interior side of your exterior walls. But the biggest difference? That lies underneath the home. Mobile homes sit on a chassis and they utilize a belly wrap or poly wrap that essentially holds fiberglass insulation right up against the floor joists. Think about that for a second. If a pipe leaks inside that wrap, the water has nowhere to go. It just stays trapped right against the wooden subfloor, basically turning it into a giant wet sponge.
Now, what's really interesting here is the core material itself, because a lot of mobile homes built before the mid-2000s use particle board subflooring. And particle board is essentially, well, it's just sawdust and glue. It's highly hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs water like crazy. Unlike the standard plywood you'd find in site-built homes, which might actually dry out and survive a leak, particle board is different. It irreversibly loses all structural integrity once its moisture content exceeds 20%. The glue bonds just break apart, the wood fibers expand, and honestly, it literally turns to mush. It's ruined. And this is exactly why managing the environment under your home and stopping that capillary rise of moisture coming up from the earth by using a vapor barrier is an absolute non-negotiable requirement. You just have to do it.
Section 3. The 3 moisture culprits.
Okay, so now that we know the materials are deeply vulnerable, we need to diagnose exactly where this catastrophic moisture is actually coming from. And there are 3 main offenders you really need to look out for. First up, water leaks. And we aren't just talking about flat metal roofs that need a new coating. Actually, those tiny, hidden plumbing leaks under your sinks, those are the silent killers of subfloors. Second is condensation. This often comes from single-pane aluminum windows that just sweat right into the wall track. And third, high indoor humidity. You know, just everyday human activity, like showering or cooking dinner, it generates a massive amount of moisture. Even an unexhausted dryer vent blowing under the home or using something like a swamp cooler, that is literally pumping gallons of water straight into your living environment and right into your structure.
Let's take a second to look at the physics of the HVAC system specifically, because this is a really crucial yet so often overlooked point. In mobile homes, the ductwork usually sits right between the subfloor and the belly wrap. So, if your ductwork isn't sealed perfectly, cold air is going to blow directly into that warm crawl space. And this temperature differential, it creates a hidden microclimate right under your floor. The moisture basically precipitates out of the air and settles right onto the metal ductwork and your wood joists. And from there, it's just rotting the wood from the inside out, completely out of sight.
Section 4. Early warning signs. Because these structural issues almost always happen entirely out of sight, beneath the floor or hidden behind the vinyl coating of your wallboards, you really have to proactively look for physical symptoms before a total failure occurs. So let's quickly walk through this physical checklist together. First, do you smell musty, almost earthy odors when you walk into a room? Are your wall panels starting to peel back? Do you see morning sweat on your windows, or maybe some discolored seams up on your ceiling? And then there's the big one. Are there spongy, soft spots on the floors, especially near the toilet or the fridge? Listen, if you notice literally any of these, you need to investigate immediately. And remember, if you want the full technical breakdown of what to look for, check the post on mobilehomefriend.com.
Section 5. The 2026 Prevention Protocol.
Okay, let's pivot away from the problem and get straight to the high-return solutions recommended by Chuck O'Dell, because this is where we actually take control of the situation. And the numbers really illustrate the stark contrast in costs here. Up top, you've got professional mold remediation and subfloor replacements. Those can run anywhere from $1,500 to well over $6,000 per room. And keep in mind, your standard insurance policies, they rarely cover full structural mold remediation. But look just below that. A DIY ground vapor barrier is only going to set you back between $150 to $400. A whole home dehumidifier is typically under $600. So, just strictly from an investment perspective, you can literally protect an $80,000 asset with just a proactive $300 investment. It's a no-brainer.
So, here are the exact actionable steps laid out for you. Number 1, install a 6mm plastic ground vapor barrier. It needs to cover 100% of the earth under your home to stop the ground from basically breathing moisture right into your floor system. Number 2, get a 50-point dehumidifier to actively manage your indoor air. And number 3, seal your HVAC ducts with mastic sealant. And please, use mastic sealant, not your standard duct tape. That's how you stop those nasty temperature differentials. As recommended on the Mobile Home Friend website, it's simply first principles logic, really. Fixing a $50 duct leak today, that literally prevents a $5,000 floor job tomorrow.
Section 6. Protect your equity.
At the end of the day, all of this proactive maintenance is really just about one thing: safeguarding your financial investment and ensuring your home remains a safe, highly valuable asset. So the crucial point to remember is keeping it right in the 30 to 50% range. Consistent maintenance and keeping your indoor humidity locked strictly between these two numbers is the only real way to starve that structural predator of its fuel. By actively managing the air and water, keeping that humidity controlled, and fixing leaks the second you spot them, you ensure you retain 100% of the home's value for a future sale or, just to guarantee a smooth appraisal down the road.
So, I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative question to think about. What hidden microclimate is brewing under your floorboards right now? Seriously, don't wait for that earthy smell to show up. Prevention is absolutely the only way you are going to win this battle. Thanks for watching. For more guides and the full article on this topic, head over to mobilehomefriend.com. Don't forget to check the links in the description below.
Thanks for watching. For more technical guides on this topic, click the link to see the in-depth article over at mobilehomefriend.com. There are many more informational dives into manufactured home topics to investigate and keep your project moving forward.